Hey friends, this is Holly. I'm at the Houston International Quilt Market at the Quilt Show, the gallery of quilts that have been juried and selected to be in this amazing show. They're from all over the world, and they represent a huge range of products. So today I'm just going to walk through the show, let you guys look. I'm going to try to use my zoom so that I can zoom in and you can see some of the details on these fantastic quilts. They're absolutely amazing. But if you're a beginner quilter, take note there are some of these that would be approachable for a beginner. There are also some of these that are astounding that I can't believe anyone ever actually attempted. So here we go. Let me flip the camera around and we'll let you get a look. This is Ricky Tim's quilt. It is the best in the show. Contemporary artist giving $5,000 prize. This means machine artistry and also won $5,000 prize. Okay, so the thing coming up is the one that is astounding. Oh, look at the strip of ladies that are matching outfit. This quilt is 8 millimeter X's. They look to be like dime size. This is a grouping called Alternative Techniques. Interesting things. I'm gonna bring you over here and let you see this one looks reminiscent of cactus. That's the red. This quilt includes hand and Applique dyeing. It's the Trojan horse. I love how vibrant this one is. This is voluptuousness and applique. So much detail. quilt is a nativity scene with Jesse tree symbols. And the symbols are honored dimensionally. The quilted figures are dimensional. Amazing. Lots of glitter, sparkles, sequins. This would be so gorgeous as a display. Not public space. There's a stained glass piece over there. Right. This is exquisite quilt, a collaborative quilt series. So collaborative meaning that each of these quilts are composed on the basis of 9-inch blocks that have in the center of them one line of color that runs through, and in the center, they meet up at their center point. So you can see on this one really well how they're connected. And so the colors are set. For example, of this one, the colors are orange, off-white, and gray. This is an interesting color combination, especially for a collaborative group quilt too. So you can see the pink is the three-line color that meets up. And if you'll notice, there are examples of very traditionally pieced blocks, and then also very, very modern blocks, and very, very deep color. Very interesting. This quilt is dissolving into a wholeness. These quilts are in an area of soul stories, threads of existence. These birds, the African sun, until the wild animals have gotten to it. Quilt include hand painting, machine applique, embellishment piecing, quilting, needle felting, and home ink jet painting. Beautiful pieces. So here's another large piece. And this is a Ukraine sunflower quilt. When they first displayed it, they allowed people to touch it, no longer wrap up in it, because they wanted them to experience the love that the makers put into this quilt. Yes, when you come to the booth and grab a flyer of the Ukraine quilt so I can tell you what's happening with the quilt. They're actually created amazing. All right. So for the rest of the show, I'm just going to walk through and show you the fun quilts the ones that I particularly like. This one includes a Napoleonic period upholstery fabric piece in the center. And piecing and quilting on this one. Such tiny diamonds there. Really large applique quilt here. Some crazy quilting. And stitching. There are several solid cloths. That just means a whole piece of fabric quilts here that are beautifully, beautifully quilted. There's this white one there, and also there's a black one here. It blends in with the panels. Beautiful featherweave. A heart in the center. This one was inspired by a late 18th century quilt seen in the National Museum of American History. This is a display of landscape quilt. This is a geometric version of course, you'll recognize the bridge that Monet painted so often. So even if you don't want to sew curves, you can always represent something with straight lines. Although the bridge is curved, of course, but this one is a waterfall. And the threads on the waterfall all silver. There's so much detail in this one. Very abstract landscape. Then the skies. These big quilts here. Oh, this one is just gorgeous. It almost has a watercolor effect. Very whimsical. Which was inspired by Hurricane, home of the Weasley family in the Harry Potter story. Here's this one earlier. really flat, maybe paper-like. And then this one is really stitching that goes horizontally. Quilts in this area or have their ideas based on books. It is a tribute to Barbara Bush. It's called Reading and Remembrance. It looks almost like a play mat. It's quite dimensional, things coming off of it. This quilt is a bookshelf sort of a quilt because it's got photos and frames on the shelf. And then it also has kind of some everyday objects, a mug with a cat down here. I think that's interesting. This one has a cookbook in the center of its favorite books. Dr. Seuss. There's another good bookshelf. Beautiful colors on those fabrics, very scrappy. Other during Christmas. More Harry Potter inspired. Right? All right, this area are quilts that are called black and white plus one color. My favorite of these is this small wedding ring. I don't know if you call it a sampler, it's just small. This piece. Kristen Whitney is the maker, and she says, I used the leftover pieces from my daughter's wedding quilt that I was short on block. So she added the red. And it was from the wedding quilt that she says, hopefully this quilt will wrap around a grandbaby soon. Very sweet sentiment. Very detailed quilting on this one. This was named after a Brazilian territory. You see face in the image. Okay. Window. The northern of Brazil. There's a group of quilts here that are all from Brazilian quilters. The parrot is glittery, and the leaf fabrics are shiny. This is the Brazilian village. There's lots of places in the world. We're at the Barbara Bush tribute quotes. I knew there was another Harry Potter one somewhere. Here it is. This quilt is titled Dragons Love Tacos. We're just Winnie the Pooh, hand embellished embroidery and quilting, shading down with a pencil. Some very interesting combinations of maybe vintage blocks, maybe orphan blocks, some vintage maybe towels, reproduction fabrics. Very nice. The joy there. These quilts are back to the grouping that's called Celebrate Life. Walking over here. Quilts along this all are Francis Holliday Alford, an 80-year retrospective. Art quilts, tons of seasons and embellishments. This quilt includes pieces that were printed on a gelatin plate. Fabric was printed on the gelatin plate. And then obviously embellished a ton. A very cool one. Another Brazilian quilt. This is a self-portrait by Frances Holliday Alford, and she quilted in words that were representative of herself into the stitching of the quilting. Okay, if you're ever going to buy these, here's the one. Obviously very artistic. It's got some great perspective, some great colors, some great quilting. But I think this one's at least approachable for a quilter. One is increasing applique, and it's block because it's gloss. It's the first place one. In this area, there are pieced quilts. meaning that they would be two fabrics simply sewn together, either by hand or by machine. And this one says machine piecing and quilting. Tiny pieces there. This is a great design for the patchwork. Low volume border. Oh, goodness. Okay, here's one of my favorites. So these are reproduction fabrics, meaning in the style of old fabric. Star blasted with a machine pieced hand quilting. Uh, it is a Victoria Findlay Wolfe pattern, inspired from an 1860s Star of Bethlehem quilt from the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum archives. This one is so striking. It's called Irregular Queen. This was actually strip set curves pieced together in strip sets and then assembled into the quilt. This one is English paper piecing. Beautiful colors in that. And those colors. Yes. At Happy Quilty People. Hang on, YouTube. I'm going to give this lady a sticker. Absolutely. I just love to share them and cheerlead for all the fun quilting things. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Here's an area with animal quilts. It just looks like beloved pets. It's Bargello. It's a great example of a well-crafted Bargello. But what's stunning about it is that it has stitching with words. Hoping you can see some of that. So the quote is from Arthur C. Clarke's famous third law. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. I quite agree. Some of this piecing was magical to me, but it's because the quilters know the technology and how to use it. Okay, here comes some more animals. Some fun animal faces over here. Such a happy face. Watch over here. These are still in the pieced category. And gorgeous with the stars coming off into the black border. This one in third place in the pieced category. This one's pieced with some neon solids. Very bright, almost an ombre for part of that. Very very, if not low, than hands. Every block is different. Order has different children. There's some words. I'm looking on the side, but I don't see what all of the words, if they, amount to a poem or something. This one is the fractured triangle quilt block, which attributes that to J. Brown. Wow, we've made our way back to the front of the hall. We skipped a row, so that's just 3 rows of it. Okay, I see a break in the action over here at Repeats on this quilt. Let's put it over there. Okay, back to the best in show quilt. Oops. This video about the making of this quilt, Repeats says that he printed an image of the moon to be the background of the clock. Way to look at the detail of those feathers. We've added color to different parts of the quilt. And he wrote a poem to go along with this quilt. So I love it. And the poem is stitched along the binding. The letters seem to be in maybe like a hot pink or purple, and the binding is really wonderful. Thanks for watching me, guys. It always helps if you give a like to creators who are doing work that you like. I love the mid-century modern scene. Detail here is exquisite. These flowers. Iris wasn't a winner, but I was really taken with it because it feels so real. Both the coloring and stitching. There's such a delicate thing as an iris for that to feel so much like a real iris. I think that's incredible artistry. An iron worker, and all the lines of quilting are coming out from the center where the heat is. And look at those tiny, tiny squares of the flame and the heat. This one's very geometric, and I think this is, yeah, it's not quite a person stick, but very slowly. Piecing in straight lines. Here's a landscape quilt for you. Very straight lines here. This is titled O'Keefe's Blue Mountains. This is a mountain scene that O'Keefe painted in her lifetime. Colors and fabrics and this scene. Carry on with the flowers over here. There's beginning of a one. Elizabeth Sunday. It's got maybe got a little shine sheen to it. And these are Naturescape quilts. Or just will work on this rock. And forest with beautiful dark colors. It includes diamond piping along its scallop border. These quilts are in a category called balance piecing and applique. Oh, I didn't. Is it great? Do I need to go look up close? Okay, we're going to go check it out. Thank you. Art are so much, dude. That was Poseidon. Oh, this one. More paintings and fabric. Conflicts that really, really like and techniques. Let's see, I'm looking at the wrong side. Uh, Machine applique and quilting, fusing and inking. So it is spray painted. This one's a favorite. It's got a crowd. Come check it out. Over here, and some colors. The words, or maybe even the fabric has a little amazing. Even the tree over on the edge is off the edge of the quilt. Okay. Oh, this is the start of probably one of my favorite exhibits. In World War II, the Red Cross gave out backing to help quilters make quilts that were donated. And so all of the groups that are these really old quilts in this collection were donation quilts from the Red Cross. This one is called Hexagon Diamonds Quilt, in piece and quilted. It says that it has a feed, and you can see how what they call it, all cotton feed sacks. These are gorgeous colors. With a star of Bethlehem. This quilt included machine piecing and hand quilting. It's estimated to be circa 1928. This is a Red Cross crazy quilt. And the notes of it say that it was backed and bound by striped fabric that was issued by the Red Cross to quilters to use for backing unfinished quilts. It was given to someone whose Surrey home was bombed. She says this quilt, but never used it for fear of spoiling it. So even though it's estimated to be from 1944, it's in excellent condition. It's interesting that she saved it and didn't use it. So let's create more of these Red Cross quilts. These were some of my favorite. I like that color scheme, lots of stripy pinwheels in that one. This quilt was sent to Lincolnshire for use by evacuees. After the war ended, no other organization would accept the quilts. This was given to a grateful bride who had a farmhouse to furnish, with only enough coupons in her ration book for a few sheets and blankets. This quilt is called a one-patch quilt. Estimated to be from 1943. So because these were donation quilts often made in a hurry, it's the simple design of the one patch. you're someone you know is a beginner quilt, this would be a great quilt to make today. Find your own scrappy one patch fabric. This quilt was sent from Baltimore to Red Cross nurses in England. This was made by someone in Canada and sent to Britain for people who were displaced by the Second World War. Quilt top is a simple design so that it could be made quickly and efficiently. But take a look at that pattern. There's some half, what do we call these? Half square rectangles? Is this the term? Half rectangle rectangles? Um, there's some places where the blocks are just sort of in half and not even necessarily half, with long bars in between for their slashing. It's gorgeous. It's a 9 patch. But several of these squares have been stitched together from smaller pieces of fabric. You can see the red cross backing on this one that was turned to the front to edge the quilt. Wedding, a double wedding ring quilt. Aunt Anne's quilt. And applique and quilted. And dress plate. So these last two quilts, the comment on the signage seems to be that because they're scrappy, it might have been efficient for people donating to use them. Um, Personally, if I make a double wedding ring or a dress and plate, I'm not donating it to anybody. This is a crazy quilt. Now, this feels like what you would make for a donated quilt. Something fun. An evacuee received this quilt when she was living with her aunt in England. Her aunt was the president of the local Women's Institute and was involved in the distribution of Red Cross relief bundles in England. Striped backing fabric is evident in the binding of this quilt as well. Right, let's see. Yeah, there's a few more there. Oh, I really like this pattern. It's a strip quilt. Different part of those are strips. Okay, this one is astounding. Says it was machine pieced and hand quilted. It's a traditional trip around the world. This quilt was given to First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. She gave it to her eldest grandson, Buzzy. I'm guessing the diameter of those, somewhere like nickel or quarter sized. They're so small. French baskets with roses. These are my dressed plate. The zigzag. Imagine this one is a modern quilt with just big panels. You have a fabric that you aren't really sure what to do with. You don't want to chop up into bits. go here. These wide panels. And I like the zigzag as well. This quilt was noted as with a label that says gift of the Canadian Red Cross Society. Right, amazing history there. If you are involved with quilters and quilters guilds, quilters groups, you know that they are giving all of the time. My son has a saying that quilters are just the best people. And I think it's true. This quilt, hand piecing and hand quilting, I just think it is so precise. This is a modern maker based on a traditional pattern called winding ways. Okay, a gorgeous example of a Hawaiian quilt. All right, and over to some modern quilts. This section is called A Twist on Tradition. This one is called Crazy Cabins. The design source is Urban Cabin from Quilted Hearts. The quilter Marcia Fuller says about this quilt that she was collecting fat quarters at the quilt festival, thinking she would do a wedding ring quilt, and then she saw this pattern. Her plan was the crazier, the better. See pretzels and dollar bills and a lily pad and fried eggs and a puppy face and a waitress, bagels, and cake and a map and butterflies and dragonfly. So much detail. Lambs, dogs, tea. Okay, you know what? This would make a really, really fun like group quilt to do. Or maybe one to do with your kids, do an improv log cabin and let them pick out the wild and crazy fabrics that they want to use. Gorgeous colors on this one. It's called Blooming Wallflowers. This one's feeling groovy. Lots of color there. All right, I'm going to slip on into a contemporary. No, I'm not. I see two I like over here. I don't want to skip. This one's called Modern Logs, an Improv Log Cabin. Attention this one because it is gorgeous. It is a starch design. Nope, I didn't get closer on that one.
I've taken the class from San Antonio, and she's a member of the New Braunfels area quilt guild, where
Okay,
I was at a retreat when she was working on that.
you got to be with her. Oh, okay. Look at that. Yay, you're fine. You're fine. All right, so just got advice not to miss the tiger quilt over there. This one's called Split Personality. Right, a modern take on traditional block. Okay, so here's the tiger. We've been told not to miss. Oh, you're fine. All right, this is a one block wonder. It says so on the page. If you haven't looked at one block wonders quilt, that is a whole rabbit hole you can fall down into. The piecing is actually less complicated than it looks. And then the panel is in the center. Gorgeous. Okay, now onto some modern quilts over here. Series titled Contemporary Art Quilts of Today. This quilt is called They Tell Me to Calm Down. This quilt is strip piecing, machine piecing, and quilting. So, and lots of striped fabric, which makes it look like it's even more piecing than it actually is. Quick walk through here. You can see the quilters. We all really look and see how they did it. We want to know. Like this one's very graphic with letters in it. Interesting fabric. Here. It's called James Light. I think that's some interesting piecing of those colors. Great, y'all. We've got kind of two rows left while I'm back here in the back. I'll circle them around. Some specialty displays. This was a 1x4 dimensional challenge, dimensional quilts. And this was Quilts on the Wall abstract. Quilts made to be abstract wall hanging abstract art. Go over to contemporary art quilts of today. And I think it cotton fabric down. This one's so much fun. Raw edge collage quilting. One that's quilted with words. The notes in this one see stories of Native Americans are an essential part of our diverse American fabric as a dark night of the strength and courage required in the face of adversity, regardless of race, color, or culture. This one includes found and recycled cotton fabric. Vintage looking quilts. If we're going to put the shopping at quilt festivals like, there it is, through there. Oh, my goodness. I think we have another one, one block wonder tiger. Let's see. It does not specifically say that technique, but it seems very similar to that. Yes, interesting zinnias over here. There we go. Now I need to check them out. This is Z is for zinnia, C is for cosmos. All right. Sweet flowers in there. These colorful. These quilts are rebalanced, renewed, reimagined. Yeah. Okay. Fall in Ontario. The groups always go around one side and then the other. They're not exactly linear in the spacing of them. All right. Quilts here are from the Taiwan Patchwork Quilt Association members. Amazing and very varied. So great flowers. Okay, you know what? I think this is the only quilt I've seen that I've identified Kaffe Fassett fabrics in. So it says hand applique and piecing. It's just a brilliant starburst of color. All the stitching moves out from the center of the piece. I just heard the word stunning about this, and that's exactly right. Vibrant, vibrant poppies. Each petal has lots of directional stitching. This is called Summer Floral. It includes hand machine applique and free motion quilting. So detailed. You see the back. Just one face off the fabric. This is Oh My Garden by Karinda. Beautiful build sunflower. So these backgrounds are going to be last row. This wedding quilt is fabulous. So detailed. Beaded, pearls, sequins, ribbons, buttons. And I think my favorite part is that there's a little gingham checked Volkswagen Beetle over in the corner. We're from the Italian Patchwork Quilt Association members. These are machine applique parts. This one is called Drunken Koi in Lotus Pond. Let me zoom. It has items for sale and a raffle. So if you're ever here, always check that out. They've got some vintage quilts on display. Let me show this is the back of this chair alongside a modern piece. And this is one of the quilts of the show that I think is amazing and would never ever want to make. Functional box. It's just a display. There's not even any information about that one. Those are all about rocks. This one's titled Autumn Glory by Christine Bargello. Hand applique and dyeing, machine applique, piecing, and quilting. If you like the look of braids and wanted to turn them into an art quilt, there you go. Leaf block. Again, very geometric landscape. This one includes hand knitting, felting, painting, and sculpting machine quilting. This one's titled Windows to the Soul. This one includes machine applique and quilting. These bright leaves over here. This one's titled Pieces of Fall. It's a pixel quilt. It has 1,500 pixels. That's a lot for a little quilt. We're just a dancer. This is 3 generations in kimonos. The beads are from the maker's mother's necklace. This one is titled World Peace. And the maker says, I pray for an early restoration of world peace. All right, a group called Sacred Threads sponsored this exhibit. Their mission is to bring comfort and healing through our art, meaning the art of quilting, in hospitals. Oh, look at the texture. This ones are sponsored by My Fine Yarn, one titled Hands All Around is the grouping. The maker's original design for the painting makers. The graffiti wall reminded of her a tapestry, so she turned it into one. Okay, guys, we did it. You stuck with me. We've been here for a long time. I appreciate you hanging out. I appreciate you watching live. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe. My name is Holly Reynolds, if you missed the beginning. And I've formed a group called Happy Quilting People. I love quilting and I want to make sure that the world knows what a great art it is, what a great hobby it is, what a great activity it is for your own mental health and well-being. And so I love to share all the quilting things. I appreciate your likes, your subscribes. If you want to be notified when I go live next, make sure that you've got your notations turned on YouTube. You can do that by looking for the little bell icon. Y'all have a great day. See you later.